Hey everyone. Right now, all of us around the world are in lockdown. And if you're following the Western media at all, you'll hear the expression over and over again, we're all in this together. Lockdown for most of us means small problems like learning how to use antibacterial gel, or maybe it means learning how to wear a mask when we do our shopping. They're minor inconveniences. Of course, in this lockdown, all of us experience major inconveniences. We can't go and see our family and our friends, especially our grandparents or our parents if they're older. Lots of us have had to, like myself, have had to suspend their company's work and don't know when the company will start back up again. And that means a lot of people are trying to figure out how to pay their bills, having to dip into their savings, having to go to their government to try to look for support. And those governments are racing, trying to figure out how best to support their people. But for a group of people around the world, lockdown can mean a death sentence. Now, I don't know about you, but when I heard that Poland, where I live, was locking down, I immediately began to prepare. I went and did shopping at midnight. I made sure that we had all the things that we would need because I had the ability to do that. And I live in a country that has the supply to be able to do that. But for people living in India, for our brothers and sisters in the faith, Christians living in India, it was a much, much different story. One day, at around 8 p.m., the government simply declared, from midnight, everything's locked down. You have hundreds of millions of poor people who live day to day. That means that they get up and work in the morning, get paid later in the afternoon, do their shopping and bring their food home. Now they might be able to get enough food to last them a day or two without working, but that's it. We're not talking about refrigerators. No refrigerators full of food, no drop-down freezers, no garages, nowhere to store it. A lot of these people had to find their way back home to the villages that they came from. For some people, this means hundreds and hundreds of kilometers. But you'd be thinking, I'm sure they have trains, I'm sure they have buses. Well, if you've ever seen a situation on trains and buses in India, and you could see it if you look at the links down below, or just Google trains in India, buses in India, travel in India, you'll see what the situation looks like. Well, the buses and the trains, because remember, 8 o'clock at night, it was announced. By midnight, they had to be locked down. Buses and trains filled up, left, and a lot of people were left having to walk home. Now, walking home could mean taking your 2 little children, whatever you could fit on your back and the food that you have, and begin walking 600, 700, 800 kilometers back to where you lived. Now, I know you and I can't even begin to comprehend what something like that would look like. But for those people that are doing it right now, as we speak, there are people making that track or trying to make that track. Now, if you're anything like me, you'd be telling yourself at this point, Corey, I can't help 1.34 billion people in India. I can't even help a couple 100 million people in India. No, you probably can't. Well, if you're a person of prayer, you can. And that's one of the things I want to ask everybody who's watching this to do. Stop right now. Pause the film. You can do that and pray for the folks in India. But pray for the brothers and sisters in India who are trying right now to boldly share their faith and at the same time take care of the needs of others. Because there's a lot of people out there like that. Now, 20 American dollars will purchase 2 weeks worth of food for one of those families. I know it sounds insane for an American ear, but trust me, it's like that. I live in Poland and a dollar can go a long, long way as soon as you leave the United States. So what I want to ask you to do is to please pray. Pray first of all for the boldness of the brothers and sisters in Christ as they share their faith even in these difficult times. People are looking for God and looking for answers. Number 2, please pray that God will help those brothers and sisters to continue to help those who need it the most. We're talking about people who, compared to you and I, would be considered poor, helping people who are even poorer than themselves. Number 3, I want to ask you to give if God leads you to do so. I want to ask you to pray and ask God, Father, is there something you want me, is there money you want me to donate towards this cause? And if you do, if God tells you to give, or if you feel led to give, right down below in the notes, there's going to be a link to be able to donate directly to me. And I will take that money and pass it directly on to the people who need it. I'm going to be giving to this. I'm asking you to do so. This video actually came about because I knew I wanted to give, but I knew that my giving would be nowhere near that which the community could do if we all pulled together in this. So please consider it. Thank you so much for watching this film. Thank you for checking out the articles down below. Please do. Thank you for praying and considering what you could give. And if you have any questions, concerns, or comments, most of you will know how you can get a hold of me. You can write to me on the email that's listed on the YouTube, or contact me directly through Facebook, any way you'd like, and I'd be happy to talk to you about it. Thank you.